Our scripture for this evening comes from Philippians chapter 2, verses 3 and 4. Philippians chapter 2, verses 3 and 4. Have you ever had a day where something went extremely well, and perhaps on that same day something did not go so well? Have you ever had a day where you were both excited and at the same time filled with frustration? This happened on this day in 1976, July 20th, 1976. Shun Fujimoto, not a common name to us Americans, but Shun Fujimoto won the gold medal in the Montreal Summer Olympics. You would say, wow, what a great day for Mr. Fujimoto. What is interesting about his win is that he won at a time in which he was enduring intense physical pain. On that day, he performed a routine and broke his knee in the process. Instead of throwing the towel in and giving up, Mr. Fujimoto determined that he must continue as best he can. He did the pommel horse and received a 9.5 out of 10, having done that with a broken knee. And then he did the rings. He was 8 feet in the air, and with a broken knee, he dismounted, landed perfectly, did not lose his balance, and got his highest score ever, 9.7. And the team that he was on went on to win the gold medal by 1/10 of a point. Then he collapsed and experienced the pain of having a broken knee and the resulting torn ligaments from continuing to play with that broken knee. What is interesting is doctors and others asked him, why is it you did not stop playing? You had a broken knee and you continued on to do the pommel horse and the rings, and you landed from 8 feet in the air knowing that your knee was broken. And his response was humble and simple. He said, I did not want to let my team down. I did not want to discourage them. While we would certainly not encourage anyone to further their physical pain after such a traumatic experience, we certainly would hope that they would take the time to rest and to heal. But we cannot ignore and overlook the courage and bravery that Mr. Shun Fujimoto had, and we certainly have to respect his selflessness in that he did not want his personal problems to become a disappointment to others. For this reason, we ask your attention to Philippians chapter 2, verses 3 and 4. Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, that each esteem other better than themselves. Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. I certainly have no knowledge of Mr. Shun Fujimoto's religious convictions, but I am thankful that he embodied the spirit of these two verses in that he did not make it about himself, but thought of others even at the expense of himself. You know people like I do in the church, in the family, on the job, who when they have a problem, they want everybody to come to a standstill and they want all attention on them. But what a brave and courageous thing to play through pain so as to not discourage others. We have to understand this passage and recognize that there is a problem in self-interest. When a person is so obsessed with themselves, they, number one, sabotage relationships. You cannot build a relationship when it's all about the person in the mirror. Second, you are ineffective for kingdom usage when the glory and the attention is on self as opposed to the king of the kingdom. Third, people who have such selfish interests are never happy or satisfied. They are in an endless pursuit of searching and seeking that which will make them happy and satisfy them, but like a drug, they never experience the high again. There is a privilege in being selfless, and that is, number one, serving others is so fulfilling and rewarding. It is a privilege to be in the life of others and to do things, to say things, and to represent yourself in the way that blesses others. Second, it imitates Christ. This is second, not in terms of order of preference, but the idea that to move from selflessness, we must see what the self achieves and understand the benefit of imitating Christ. It helps us to be humble when we think of others and esteem them better than self. And what a blessing it is to know that God could use you to help make someone a better person. I would consider it a great honor, and you should consider it a great honor, when God puts us in a position where we can do for others. Let's embody the spirit of Shun Fujimoto. Certainly we should not do anything to permanently inflict pain on ourselves, as his career did end, but we should have the selflessness that we're not going to let others down by focusing on ourselves, and to take that spirit and sometimes work through the pain for the benefit of another. This has been another edition of A Few Minutes with the Minister, with words from the Master.